Back to football here on First Take. Nothing has been going right for the Giants. They blew another fourth-quarter lead yesterday, this time to the Bears as they fell to 2-8 on the season. To make matters worse, New York has now lost their star rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart when he suffered a concussion on a called quarterback run late in the game. He finished the day with 66 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns while passing for 242 yards. But now this begs the question, does Jaxson Dart maybe need to change his style of play? What do you think, Cam Newton?
So I'm going to go with this. It's the head coach's main responsibility to put the team in the best situation to win. And some of that also means protecting players from themselves. How many times, and this is a question to not just the panel, but also to the people who are watching this, how many times have we seen Jaxson Dart leave the game for any reason this season? And that's including the preseason as well. It's been extremely alarming to see him. It's almost become a repetitive thing to see him go into the blue tent for whatever reason. Now, this is what I will say, because that's for Coach Daboll, right? The schematics about how do you approach your starting quarterback. On the other hand, I've been the biggest Jaxson Dart fan because of the energy that this young man brings. And why Jabbar? Because he's a part of the community. I would typically say, boy, Jaxson Dart, you're invited to the cookout, but it's too cold in New York, so therefore we're going to invite you to Thanksgiving. And this is a very exclusive group that you're entering in, because we've accepted the Joe Burrows. We've accepted the Travis Hunters. I mean, not the Travis Hunters, the Travis Kelce's. We've also will accept you as well, too. But understand this, Jaxson Dart, you have to be very mindful of your importance to not just your own health, but the success of the franchise. And when you start running with not the willingness to get down, even with the quarterback design run, that puts everybody's job in question. And you do not want that to happen, sir. So, Jaxson Dart, make the right decision and alter your game for the betterment of your career.
Yes, he does need to do that, but it falls on Daboll. And here's why I would tell you this. He's a rookie. He's in the league. That moxie is what has galvanized the fan base. Even though you have a losing record, you're destined to finish in last place in the division and stuff like that. Even though I saw an elevated level of effort from the Giants yesterday compared to what I saw from them in the recent couple of weeks. You saw effort from them, so I give them credit where credit is due on the defensive side of the ball, because, you know, they looked like they were giving up on plays like the week before and stuff like that. That was not the case yesterday. Jaxson Dart being out for concussion, let's put this in its proper consideration. That was the 4th time in 4 months he's been in concussion protocol. And yesterday he didn't make it, or he didn't make it back into the game. So that's the coach right there. Why do I say that? Because even though he's been sliding a little bit better and getting out of bounds, we have to give him credit where credit is due in that regard. For the most part, the Giants still called 5 designed running plays for him.
Over 20 this season.
And over 20 this season. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's Brian Daboll, and I like Brian Daboll a lot. I don't think I'm not one of those guys that look at him and say, this man can't coach. He's the coach of the year. And don't tell me he don't know what the hell he's doing, because I think he does. But that's a man playing. That's a man coaching to keep his job.
Yes.
Not coaching, just coaching. Because if you're just coaching, you are going, hold on, Cam, you are going to protect the future of your franchise. You can't have a guy that previously already had 3 concussions this year as a rookie. You can't justify, calling designed running plays for a guy that design running plays. What you do? You put your head down. That's the first thing you do. You put your head down. That's the last thing you want if you got a concussion issue. And so we have to look at it from that standpoint. You're a football coach, formerly on the offensive side of the ball in Buffalo before you got the head coach job in New York. You know better. You know better. Okay? And last point. I told y'all, Scatterbull being out was going to be a demoralizing thing for them, because he's not just a runner, he's a rough rider. Like the contact, like talking smack, like coming at you. Let's go. He's that kind of dude. And that's not only Jackson. I think it was, roommate, whatever, best friends getting along with. They're boys. You lose your boy. Y'all know this. You know this, Cam. Your teammates are your teammates, and you love all that stuff. But when somebody's your boy You see what I'm saying? And they down, I mean, and y'all ride together on the football field, on the same side of the field, and that brother ain't there, that can be debilitating.
Yeah.
That could be debilitating. And I knew it from the time Scatterboo went down. I said, listen, they might not have gone far anyway. But I knew from the moment Scatterboo went down, we was going to see a precipitous decline by the New York Giants.
Man neighbors, yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to Scatterboo a couple of weeks ago when it was really like the height of everything. Mm-hmm. I said, when did you learn about Jaxson Dart? He said, never met the guy. He goes, I get drafted on day 2 or day 3. I get a FaceTime from Jaxson Dart, and Jaxson Dart's looking at Scatterboo and says, let's go. And the two of them are like, they're rookies. They're all that. So you're 100% right on that. I think it's so interesting how to handle these rookie quarterbacks. And Cam Newton, you might be the most equipped of anybody to talk about this, the style of play and how dominant you were in the open field. You kind of have to walk this balance. You want him to be super competitive. You want him to make all the plays. You don't want him to lose his moxie. You don't want to neuter this kid. This is what Jaxson Dart is. He is an explosive playmaker and can also do it with his legs. Now, he had 200 yards passing in the first half. He was having an outstanding game. How do you find a way? And I think really the only way these guys learn, and Cam, I don't know if Mike Shula was in your ear or North Turner was in your ear or who it was when you were a rookie, but the only way sometimes they learn is when they get hurt and they get injured and they have to then realize, I don't want to be out. I want to play. I have to make it a self-conscious, conscientious effort to go down. Brian Daboll coached Josh Allen as a rookie. Like Brian Daboll knows about big-bodied quarterbacks who like to take a little contact. Josh Allen changed. Cam, I'd be fascinated to hear, like, how did you protect yourself? Because arguably no quarterback was ever targeted more by the defense than you, and you still found a way to run over them and dominate the league.
So before I even answer this question, some will say this is the reason why Cam's demise from the league, but that's not real. That's false. I injured my shoulder trying to make a tackle after an interception got called back. That's the demise of my career, my shoulder. It wasn't because I was running. It wasn't because I was taking hits. It's that type of thought process that I knew. Rod Trzcinski, Norv Turner, Mike Shula, Ken Dorsey, individuals that were very impactful. Ron Rivera would always mention, we need you to be healthy. So you having the unwillingness to take that into mind when you're running with the football, this is the thing, Stephen A. Smith, and you say it's on Coach Daboll. I would say contrary, because if that's your best option to win, you have to do it. It now goes back to Jaxson Dart to say, hey, while I'm running, as a quarterback, there's only one position, probably 2 in a receiver, but as a quarterback, that's the only position that you can literally protect yourself, even with a called run. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that as a running back. You can't definitely do that as a tight end or a fullback. So if you get a design run where, okay, I've gotten the most yards that this play gives me to make, get down. Hey, I feel the pressure coming in from both sides. Get down. The thing that I'll say this in my closing, one of the main things in my career, I did not know how to slide. And Mike Shula at the time would always, kind of give me flack, and Derek Anderson and Joe Webb would always give me flack for not being able to slide. But in practice, we made that an initiative to say, hey, I'm not teaching you how to slide for you to slide. I'm teaching you how to roll with the tackle. As you're feeling a defender come to you, where is his weak spot where you can go up under him in a way where you protect yourself? And if you go back and you watch the film, those are the tactics while running. Okay, I've got 6 yards. That's all I can get. Let me get down. Let me slide. Let me get up under the blow where I do not take the brunt of it. And that's what Jaxson Dart has to implement in his cycle of skills.
You have to remember he's a rookie. Like, he's so young. Like, what Cam is saying makes perfect sense, but maybe he just hasn't learned that skill set yet. Like, he's unaware of the kind of pressure that's coming at him. Quickly, too, because obviously we're asking Cam Newton this for a reason. Jaxson Dart, 5th straight game.